The latest breakthroughs. Turns out one of the biggest discoveries is actually this tiny. See how small that is? This little chip may be the next big thing, and it sounds like it's right from a sci-fi movie, but people all over the world are implanting these into their wrists. So I asked my producer, Dean, to find out more about this cutting-edge technology and what it could mean for your health.
Whether it's our smartphones, our watches, our fitness trackers, or our Bluetooth headphones, it's clear that technology is not just part of our lives, it's running them. It's how we buy things, watch things, how we date, stay safe, even how we travel. Paul? Cool. We're so attracted to our devices that they're basically becoming a part of our bodies. But what if they really could become a part of our bodies? Well, guess what? They can. Meet the RFID microchip. This tiny chip, which can be implanted into your wrist, yes, I did say wrist, uses short-range radio frequency identification, similar to the tech used to track your pets or your phone. Once implanted in your body, it could identify you as you pass through the airport, open the door to your home. It could even be used to buy groceries at the supermarket. Now, your driver's license, passport, keys, and wallet are all inside your body, contained in something the size of a grain of rice. I know it might sound like sci-fi, but it's not. 10,000 people have already been chipped, and the number is growing. The possibilities are limitless, especially when it comes to your health. Imagine you're rushed to the hospital without any identification, but with just one scan of your chip, doctors know your name, date of birth, medical history, insurance, blood type, allergies, even the medication you're taking. This chip in your wrist won't just change your life, one day it might just save it. And that's why this little RFID microchip is the next big thing.
Meanwhile, President-elect Donald Trump has chosen former Fox 11 TV personality and heart surgeon Dr. Mehmet Oz for a role in his administration. Dr. Oz will be responsible for overseeing Medicaid, Medicare, and the Affordable Care Act. On Truth Social, President-elect Trump said that Oz is the best choice to tackle America's healthcare crisis. He plans for Dr. Oz to collaborate closely with Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who is set to head the Department of Health and Human Services. Trump writing that the two will, quote, take on the illness industrial complex and all the horrible chronic diseases left in its wake.
Number 8, we will finally complete the biometric entry-exit visa tracking system, which we need desperately. For years, Congress has required biometric entry-exit visa tracking systems, but it has never been completed. The politicians are all talk, no action, never happens. Hillary Clinton, all talk. Unfortunately, when there is action, it's always the wrong decision. Do you ever notice? In my administration, we will ensure that this system is in place. And I will tell you, it will be on land, it will be on sea, it will be in air. We will have a proper tracking system. Number 9, we will turn off the jobs and benefits magnet. We will ensure that E-Verify is used to the fullest extent possible under existing law, and we will work with Congress to strengthen and expand its use across the country. Immigration law doesn't exist for the purpose of keeping criminals out. It exists to protect all aspects of American life: the work site, the welfare office, the education system, and everything else. That is why immigration...
Markey, overnight, the president-elect announcing on Truth Social that he is prepared to tackle immigration by declaring a national emergency. The president-elect confirmed reports that his administration will use military assets to enforce mass deportation, saying the plans will, quote, reverse the Biden invasion of immigrants coming into the U.S. Our partners over at The Hill report over 1.5 million people currently live and work in the country and have a humanitarian or temporary legal status. They are at risk of being pushed out by the Trump administration. Mass deportations, this is something that Trump has long promised on the campaign trail. He recently brought on former ICE Director Tom Homan as his border czar. Homan, a staunch critic of Biden border policies and a supporter of Trump's plans for mass deportations, has already told illegal immigrants to start packing. Homan will be in charge of carrying out Trump's plans at the border, including these plans for mass deportations, which now Trump overnight confirms will include the military. Marky?
And Brooke,
Shalom. First off, I give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rekakadash, Yahweh being the true name for Heavenly Father, Yahushai being the name for His only begotten Son, who the word Igley calls God, and Jesus Christ. Only give double honors to our apostles and elders, great millstone, the touch of truth and will well. And salutations to you, hope like pushing this truth in all honesty and sincerity. This is Buddy Awasap, comes to no less to the spirit power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Give another update, end times, and events. As you've seen with the multiple videos that I just shared, the Trump administration have announced to put the head of Medicare and Medicaid, Dr. Oz. Now, 4 to 5 years ago, I personally did many lessons on this. Many brothers across GMS showing Dr. Oz promoting the RFID, CHIP, C-H-I-P. If you can spell that out, you know what I'm referring to. Okay, that is the mark of the beast. He was promoting it, okay, on national television. And that is what that man stands for. He was handpicked by the elites to be the face of it for the medical side. Now, during this administration, he has been handpicked to be the head of Medicare and Medicaid, and that's huge. That's huge. So this goes to show more of them pushing towards making this legally mandatory to take, because you have certain people that depend on Medicaid and Medicare. And it's going to get to the point that unless they have this device, they will not be on it. They will not be on that medical benefit eventually. And that eventually is extremely small, because this is about to be pushed out fast, because this is a prophecy that's going to take place to coincide with this World War III. And World War III is heating up. Okay, so they're going to make it mandatory very soon to take this device. And for medical purposes, it's going to give them the green light to justify punishing people by legal action for refusing to take it under medical excuses. And simultaneously, what's going on is a quote-unquote border crisis, right? Which they also setting up and staging to protect our borders and keep people out, and to see who's supposed to be here, who's supposed to be here, and who isn't. They're going to need something better than a wall. They're going to need a biometric entry-exit visa tracking system, which Trump said we need desperately. Trump is the face of the guy that's going to be bringing in the MOTB, which is the mark of the you-know-what. Okay? The Revelation 13 and 16. He's the face of the guy to bring that in. That's the puppet they choose. That's the one they choose to be the face of it. And for the medical justification, the face of it is Dr. Oz. He pushed that on this show flawlessly. So he's signed, sealed, delivered, approved. And it's the perfect storm to bring in the next ruler of Babylon, to push that device. We be telling y'all it's coming, man. This place is done, and it's going to come very, very fast. This isn't something that you're going to say, oh, it's going to be 10 years from now. No, man. This is something that's going to take place before World War III. And you pay attention to the news, what's happening, what's heating up. World War III is basically damn near begun. So that means they're about to be really pushing and advertising this heavily. And this comes simultaneously when Elon Musk has quote-unquote perfected his Neuralink. The one that goes in the head. And the one that Dr. Oz is promoting, it goes in the hand. So notice how they done promoted this guy, the head of Medicare and Medicaid. At the same time, part of Trump's cabinet, his administration, is Elon Musk that's promoting that Neuralink that's basically being FDA approved. This is it, man. This next phase, this next step of trial and tribulation and test of your faith is you all are about to be pushed to the limit and being tested to receive the mark of the beast or not. And all you niggas that came against GMS saying that that's not the MOTB, you about to be put to the test too. And you're going to be faced with the decision on whether or not you're going to stand by your scoffing or not and take the shit. Because this is it. It's here. For the longest time, Nate said, ain't no microchips. It's June. And that was like 6-7 years ago. And it's here now. And they still basically telling their congregation that it's okay to go take this bullshit. When it's obvious, it's what Revelation 13 and 16 is talking about. So anybody following IUIC, you joined them for whatever bullshit ass reasons, you're fucked. Because the Lord gonna put on a spirit on you to go take that bullshit. Unless you wake the fuck up and repent sincerely and come out of it and follow the prophets of Great Millstone, a lot of y'all gonna go take this bullshit. Millions of billions of people are gonna take this bullshit. It's gonna be. This is part of the process of bringing in the judgment of the lake of fire, man. People will be burned for trusting in Esau, Edom more than the Lord, and that's ultimately your judgment for taking this and giving your whole soul, your mind, your brain to be controlled by a man, a white man, Edomite, just to enjoy the comforts of life that this Edomite gave for you to enjoy. Not from the Yahweh, but from Esau. And some of you people, most of you people are going to fold and go take the shit. And put it right there where Dr. Oz is showing you. The Wizard of Oz, man. And that wasn't the... Ain't that is the end of the movie? Once you make it to the end, the Wizard of Oz, the movie was over. That's the head wizard, man. So we at the end of the society. Some heavy things, some heavy shit is about to happen, man. I mean, look at this. It says Elon Musk's Neuralink has implanted its first chip in human brain. What's next? And this was back in January 30th, 2024. There's been a whole lot of updates and new test subjects since then. So we definitely at the end, man. This is Revelation 13 and 16 says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a charagma in their right hand on their foreheads. The reason why I said charagma is that's the Greek name for what the English word mark is written for. This part of the scriptures was translated from the Greek. So you go back into the Greek, it means to basically receive the bite of a snake or etching or engraving underneath the skin. And when you look at the anatomy of a snake's tooth, it's identical to a hypodermic needle. The same needle they use to inject stuff into people, the snake's tooth uses the same Kopset to inject its venom. Okay, so charagma, that word is used to describe of how it's administered. It doesn't matter what status you are in society, rich or poor, they're coming after you to come take it. Verse 17, it says, no man might buy or sell save he had a mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Now you watch that opening video, they said the capability of it. It stores your personal medical identification on there. People are going to be making their purchases for their snacks, for their groceries. Okay? So, regardless of your wealth in society, your status, you're going to need that device in order to buy whatever it is you need. It says, no man might buy or sell save he that had the charagma or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So unless you're of the worldly situation, you won't receive none of the benefits of eating and surviving, because these worldly people are going to be cutting off regular people from society. So now's the time to get into the wilderness and learn some things: how to start fires, how to make your own well water, how to scavenge for water, hunt and eat. All those things are going to be important in the times to come, because when they collapse this society and allow an EMP to hit, you're going to have a blackout for weeks to months. And that's when people are going to be snapping and killing each other over loaves of bread. Verse 18 says, here's wisdom, let him that hath understanding count the number of a beast, for his number of a man, and his number is 666. So that goes into 666. Chi-size stigma. So because they won't take heed to the warning, they're going to be, deceived into going and taking it. That chi-size stigma, when you look that up in the Greek, in the Blue Letter translation, it literally means, placed underneath the skin by a sharp pointed instrument. So there you have it. It's right there within the scriptures, written thousands and thousands of years ago. And you got groups out here that's trying to say that it's not that device that you've seen, the RFID. They're trying to say that it's not. But they're just paid to say that it's not. Or they have a lack of faith, to where they know they're going to fold and take it. So they would rather create a doctrine to give themselves justification for taking it. So they feel better with themselves and convince themselves that they won't be destroyed and held accountable for the sin. They'd rather just create a new doctrine, a new breakdown, to justify it. Just like, all these other camps, especially IUIC, they justify a lot of sins, especially when it comes to dealing with women and not holding them accountable for the things that they do. They basically justify everything. Everything's good to go. You can go have a marital contract. You can, just stick with. They push out the whole. The Shabbat is not based on the new moon. I mean, there's so many lists of breakdowns where they've changed up to be more comfortable in the sins that they're doing. Okay. So it's no different than these other people that are changing up the breakdowns of understanding what the MOTB is, the mark of the you-know-what. Revelation 13 and 16. Speaking of IUIC, they also teach that it's not the device that I just showed in the video, but the scriptures and common sense, points to it's obvious what it is. So that means they're going to basically give their whole congregation justification to going to taking that bullshit when it comes out. Just like the whole congregation took the fruit punch, the MAX in the arm back in 2020. People had to go, get jump shotted up. They taught that it was okay to go do that. And that's really a death sentence to billions of people that got that shit. Because the founders and makers of it, some of them blew the whistle and said that you're only going to have basically 3 years to live. 4 years if you're lucky. So, you got to really follow the true prophets of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua that's bringing out information like this, because other Israelite groups aren't speaking on prophecy and things that's happening in the world, and they're not speaking on the end times for real. They focus so much on who the Israelites are, what marriage is and X, Y, Z, blah, 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 stuff that's not important to your salvation. Like, this is need to know information. What this political party is about to do when they get in office. So you can expect and move accordingly. And the Spirit will have you, be in protection. If you call upon the true name of Yahweh Shai, you're going to get that divine intervention that you may need to survive, because you're literally going to need miracles to make it out of this stuff, man. Like, you're going to literally need an angel to manifest. They might whisper something in your ear, tell you it's time to go, pack your shit up, go. So you can avoid, getting rounded up and thrown in the FEMA camp. You're already out of there. The angel gave you pre-warning. So the angel's giving y'all pre-warning right now through the Lord's mouthpiece, which is his prophets. It's bringing you out stuff that's happening, real world stuff that's happening in the world, okay? But those of you that scoffed and scorned and came against, the Lord's going to set up a spirit for you to get your judgment, where he's going to block you from getting the messages of these warnings. And you'll be so dived into your wickedness in the world, you won't even realize the trap and the hole that you're running down. And it'll be too late. Because real soon, they're going to be rounding people up by the masses, by the millions, man. And those that don't comply, they're going to have death penalty orders where they can just line you up on a gun line and just do away with you. Or throw you in a guillotine. These are the days that we're entered into, man. So, pay attention to prophecy. Okay? Prophecy is extremely important when learning about the scriptures. If you have men that call themselves prophets or chosen ones teaching the word, they're supposed to be bringing out prophecies. Not just what your hairline looks or clothes or how many fringes is on the t-shirt. Nah, that's not it, man. Not just men standing on the corner, sympathizing and being simps to women to tell them X, Y, and Z that they can do and all. Like, nah, man, that's not it. Prophecy is speaking on something before it happens, and then it's going to happen. Which this whole book, the scriptures, the whole thing is prophecy, man. It tells in detail how the end times and last day is going to be, and it's obvious we living in it. So, just a quick lesson, man. Lord's will is edifying. I'm going to close out. Give all praises, honor, glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Kakadash, the bottom our apostles and elders, great millstone, touch the truth and will well. Citation, you hope like person's truth and honesty, sincerity. Shalom.